So I'm going to tell you a secret that I think is very important for you, and it's important for me to think through these things. Life often doesn't work out as you thought it would. It often changes and has a lot of turns and challenges that you face. So you might often think of planning to do something or planning to have a certain path in your life and thinking that this is the way that's going to happen. And then there is an unusual set of events that happens in your life and it doesn't work out like you thought it would. You might experience what is called a failure, where you have performance that is below some aspirational level. You might experience something where you just feel down and you really just don't know why you're feeling like that, because you thought that you did everything right. But I want you to sort of think about this in terms of dealing with these issues of how to process when life doesn't work out as planned. So if you don't know me, I'm Professor Dave Maslach. I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There are so many people that help me out that I wanted to pay the favor for to help you out. So I've spent a great deal of my time studying failure and learning about how we experience failure and think about failure. And we often feel, so failure in this case is where you perform below what you thought you should have performed. So often we sort of have these beliefs that the world is going to work in a certain way, and then we try to do those things and we realize that it doesn't work that way. There's lots of reasons why this happens. Some of those reasons are outside of your control, some of them are within your control. But I want you to spend some time thinking about how you deal with these moments when you don't necessarily perform the way that you thought you would perform. So the first thing is that know that how you thought about things, know that you're an incredible human being and you are really remarkable in a lot of different ways. And so I don't want you to fixate on those particular issues where you failed or you feel like you didn't accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, but fixate on how much of a special person that you are, and that there are people in your life. There's lots of people in your life that care for you. Now, you might have a hard time seeing those individuals, but there are a lot of people that do care for you. And I want you to sort of reflect on what it means to be you and reflect on the sort of amazing things that you've accomplished in your life beyond the thing that you're fixated at this moment. And really think about how connected you are in this world. So spend some time really thinking about that. Go for a walk and really think about, your 5 different senses of thinking about things and hearing things. Hearing the noises around you, the birds chirping at this moment. I'm outside, and thinking about, the cool breezes that you feel on your skin. All of those things. Really think about who you are as a person, and that you matter inside, and that you are a remarkable person. So that's the first thing I want you to think about. The second thing that I want you to think about is realize that there are a lot of things that are outside of your control, and we do a lot of things in which there is often not a good outcome, and that is life as we know it. We try to do things in this world, and we try really hard, but sometimes it just doesn't work out in the way that you thought it would work out. And that is okay. That's part of how we deal, or we experience things, is that this world is really challenging. And as long as you are being a decent person and you're being a really nice person, know that sometimes it just doesn't work out. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. It just happens that way. So I want you to really reflect on that, and that you cannot change those outcomes. Maybe you are experiencing a moment where you were trying to influence things, but those outcomes were outside of your control. And that is a very real scenario, a very real case. Now, I also need to point out that some of these things that you're thinking of making an influence, they take a long time. And we often think that it's going to take a day, a year, 5 years to accomplish this thing. But I want you to think about that this is going to take you decades often to make a positive change. So I don't want you to give up on yourself, that you are not really the person that you think you are. Just know it takes an awful lot of effort and pushing at something before you can make those positive changes that you're looking for, whatever those positive changes are. And the last thing that I want you to sort of know is that you are a very remarkable person, and that you, and this is sort of coming back to the second or the first point, is that you have to imagine that you have a lot more that you can do going forward, in that this thing that you maybe didn't work out for you, that there are other things that you can work on and other things that you can accomplish going forward. I know it's challenging to sort of focus on those things at those moments, but those things will happen, and you'll have plenty of time to work on those things. And sometimes those things go a little quicker, sometimes they take a little longer to work on those things. But just know that the one thing that you're focused on at this moment, the one thing where you feel like life is not working out as planned, that is only one component of what you should be doing in this world, or what you could be doing in this world. So just know that we have a long life, and there's so many wonderful things that you can accomplish in your life. Know that you can develop and grow from these experiences, whether you are 15 years old or 65 years old. There is so much more that you can do with your life, even when you experience these moments where life is not working out for you. So with that, hopefully you go and do something incredible today. Spend some time thinking about this in terms of what you can do in the world around you, where you can make a difference, and know that it's going to take some time to make that difference. It always does. It's always hard. And when you try to go towards making that positive change in this world, know that the world might be the thing that is not changing. You might not actually make any sort of change. But what is happening is that you are changing as an individual. And sometimes that positive change that happens to you as an individual is more important than making that actual change in this world. So with that, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care, and have a wonderful day. Bye.